Welcome to another episode of Veteran Perspective. Today, we're going to talk about 5 military lessons in power, mine and my wife's small business, veteran tips for entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs. Let's get started. First, our sponsor to be one of my businesses, and you guys have heard this before. It's our Etsy store, JK Prints and Gifts. I'll leave the link in the description. We got some good stuff there. I'll leave the link in the description. T-shirts, sweatshirts, crew necks, and hoodies, hats, tote bags for my tote bag fans out there. What else we got? Teachers. We have some Canva templates that me and my wife have made that are completely customizable. You guys will get a link to the template itself. You guys can edit them for what class you're using them for. Parents, K through 2. We have a summer, I called it a summer, like a summer worksheet thing for reading, writing, and math. You can use it any time of year. I just called it a summer because it's summer months. So that is also a Canva template and a downloadable PDF. So your child, it's got fun games in there that I curated and made myself for young student to keep learning over the summer to help retain that information. We got some good stuff in that Etsy store. It's still growing. We got a lot of wall art in there as well for home and office. We focus on positive mental health, self-care, PTSD awareness, all that good stuff for you. And again, I'll leave that link in the description. JK Prints and Gifts at Etsy. You guys, all right, started. So being in the military, we all know that there are a lot of factors that go into keeping disciplined, right? When I deployed to Iraq in 2003, I was what, 21? 20? I think I was 20 and I turned 21. Because it was OIF 1. I never imagined back then I'd run an Etsy store. I don't think Etsy existed back then. I'd have to look that up. Back then, the mission was simply survival, the task at hand, right? Navigating chaos throughout the war. There's a huge responsibility. Trying to stay alive, keep your buddy alive, running the mission at hand. Those of you that have asked, I was a pogue, right? I did water purification, storage, and distribution, right? But I did my part. I played my part. I'm not going to lie about my service. I did what I did. I did a lot when I was out. We all did. Some more than others, as you guys all know. And it caused a lot of issues for me after I left. I left the Army in 2007, but those scars are still there. PTSD, hypervigilance, anxiety, depression. It shaped a lot of me. I learned some really, really good things about myself from the military, from my time in the Army, and it's caused a lot of really, really bad things. But today we're going to focus on the good things, because I don't want to talk about the bad shit. And I do that enough when I've talked to the VA. Right? So the 5 things we're going to talk about here are going to be discipline, leadership, adaptability, mission focus, and camaraderie. Okay? Those are the 5 things. Okay? Discipline, leadership, adaptability, mission focus, and camaraderie. Those are our 5. Okay? And how they can make you a better entrepreneur. Okay? And I'm not a success by any means. We're not making thousands of dollars. We're still growing. Still growing our business. Okay? We don't just have our Etsy. I do marketing as well, as you know. I do this podcast. I run a couple of YouTube channels. Right? There's a lot to what we do. I write my blog. Right? All of those are part of the quote unquote empire that I'm building. Right? And what is success when it comes to that? To me, it's making money, right? But it's also making an impact. So, like, I'm not a success yet. I hope I make an impact on someone who listens to this, right? Maybe there's someone out there who goes, "Yeah, I like that idea," right? That's part of success. Maybe there's someone out there that watches one of my videos about one of the products that I'm affiliate marketing for, that I believe in, that I like, and goes, "Hey, I'm going to try that out." And they buy that product, and I make a little commission off that, and they're successful with it. Then I was successful, right? So we launched our store because we wanted to create something meaningful. I had just left teaching due to my issue, right? Toxic leadership. Like, I had some big triggers that showed up that had never really been there before. But we wanted to make something that was meaningful, a venture that supported mental health. And it kind of gave me purpose, right? Because I can't sit at home and do nothing as my daughter just walks by. Say hi to her. She just does whatever she wants. She just runs the show around. 15 years old, does whatever the fuck she wants. So, but I can't just sit around and do nothing. I have to be moving. I have to be doing something. But I also am at a point where I have to be at home. And I was like, hey, this is a cool idea, right? I could be successful, or at least try to be successful, right? So I was like, okay, well, we could support mental health, veterans and civilians, right? But if you're a veteran, an aspiring entrepreneur, or if you're looking for a side hustle building from scratch, these lessons can guide you, okay? These are things I've thought of, written about. I probably edited this blog in particular. It came out at the end of May, so some of you may have read it already. But I edited this one probably more than I've edited any other blog. So the first one is discipline. Show up every day. Okay, now I'm not saying create a new product every day, right? I know a lot of people on Etsy are going to tell you, and you're going to hear from the gurus, put out a new product every day. And that might not be feasible. You might not have the budget to do that because you have to pay to put out products every day. It's 20 cents for a product every day, and all of a sudden you've got 200 products. 200 times 20 cents, you're going to be paying a lot of money. Okay? That might not be feasible for some people, right? So in the Army, discipline was everything, right? We all remember waking up at 0400, laced up your boots, you worked no matter how tired you were, no matter how much you had to drink the night before, right? Chaos when you were in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever you were deployed, right? Hesitation's not an option, right? That grit, that determination, even though I'm going through a lot in my brain, right? That PTSD is there, right? But I still have that discipline. Ask my wife. She's actually sitting next to me. I still get up every day. I still come out to my computer every single day and do something in relation to the store, right? Whether it's marketing on social media, putting pins up on Pinterest. I haven't checked my Pinterest. Gotta do right? Some days are more than others, and that's okay, right? Some days, those memories of 2003 hit me like a ton of bricks, right? Flashbacks, nights, nightmares, anxiety. But the store is still there. The store doesn't pause, right? Like the internet doesn't pause. It still exists, right? There's no boss that demands I update listings except for maybe my wife. There's still customer messages and emails, right? We could design new mugs. We do have coffee mugs, coffee cups, which are pretty cool, by the way. Y'all should buy one. If I don't do something, the business could stall. So having that discipline, posting on Pinterest at 7 a.m., even when sales are slow, and they are, and that's okay, it gives me purpose. That discipline gives me purpose, just like it did when I was in the Army. So veteran entrepreneurs, side hustlers, discipline can give you that edge. Okay, it's what keeps you grinding when your motivation fades. And sometimes it fades, and that's okay. Okay? Leadership. Own every outcome. You're running your own business, your own empire. Okay? Leadership in the military isn't about shouting orders. We all had that leader that thought leadership was yelling, right? That if they yelled the loudest, they were the best leader, right? You all had that officer or that E6. It was always an E6, right? That yelled the loudest and thought that they were the best leader because of it. That's not how leadership. It's about owning everything, about owning what you're do, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it, what the intended outcome is supposed to be, the mission, the mistakes, the result. A leader takes responsibility no matter how tough the task is. That's the mindset you have to take when it comes to your business. You're not going to win every day. Okay, sometimes an order ships late. Sometimes the customer's unhappy. Sometimes they leave you a bad review. Okay? You can't blame the supplier. Can't blame Etsy's algorithm. Right? You take on that responsibility. You fix it. You contact the customer. You resolve the issue. You make it right. Leadership, for my veterans out there who might be going through other issues like PTSD. In my case, I can only speak about PTSD. That's my issue, my story. You might be going through something else you have to navigate, right? Could be a TBI. It could be something else. It could be an amputation. It could be another issue that you go through, okay? You have to guide yourself through that fog, okay? On hard days, right? I break my tasks into bits, into small little bite-sized chunks. You design one product, send one email, post one social media, design one set of Pinterest. Keep moving, right? Because that's what leaders do. Leadership keeps the big picture in focus. What's the big picture here? You're building a business that reflects your value, whatever that might be, whatever your focus. Okay? To sharpen your leadership, I'm going to recommend a book to you. Okay, there's a book called Extreme Ownership. I've read it before. It's by an author named Jocko Willenick. He's a veteran. Okay, and I have it linked in the blog. Okay, it's linked in the blog, which I will put in the description. Okay, it's called Extreme Ownership. All right, and it's not like owning products. It's owning what you do. It's owning who you are, good and bad. Okay, because none of us are perfect. God knows I'm not. All right? I'm not. I mean, hell, I've learned along the way. Right? I mean, hell, when I first opened the Etsy store, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to be a millionaire. And I'll be real with you guys, 13 sales. We opened in October of 2024. 13 sales. But hey, that's 13 sales I didn't have before. Sometimes I get down about it. Ask my wife. She's over here saying, uh-huh. But whenever I hear that cha-ching on my phone, I go, hey, you know what? We got a fucking sale today. Pretty badass. Somebody bought my seating chart template the other day on Canva. From Canva, like I have in the Etsy store. And I was like, that's cool. I hope they use that. I hope they get value out of that. It was like $4. And I thought that was cool as hell. I was like, okay, all right, cool. But being a leader, owning what you do, leaders have to show up every day. Being adaptable, adaptability, number 3. Pivoting fast. Combat zones shift in seconds. Business does the same. Plans that work yesterday could fail today. Same as in war. Business and war have similarities. No one's shooting at me yet in my business. Okay? Okay. That adaptability when you deployed kept you alive, and it can keep you alive in your business. Keep your business thriving. Okay? So for my veterans out there, you are already adaptable. You already have that skill that you may not know that you have. You might just think that's your norm. Okay, but that is a skill. You should have that on your resume. Okay, the online marketplace, e-commerce, which I am huge on. I love e-commerce, drop shipping, print on demand, which is what we use. We use Gelato for our print on demand. Through Etsy, it's connected to our Etsy store and our TikTok shop. We have both. Okay, the online marketplace is its own battlefield. Okay, trends change. Algorithms evolve. Hot products cool off. New hot products arise, and it could happen like that. Snap. Sometimes we cling to best-selling designs, and then sales drop. Trends shift. We have to stay nimble. We have to adapt. Mental health gifts might trend. Then they might go away. Seasonal designs. Plan ahead. Roll out holiday mugs. Digital downloads are hot right now. That might go away. I don't think digital downloads are going away anytime soon. But they could. But adaptability is survival for veteran entrepreneurs. It's actually survival for any entrepreneur. But veterans, I believe, have a leg up in this adaptability because we have that skill already. We're already adaptable. We've all been there where First Sergeant says, hey, first formation's at 0400, then all of a sudden it's at 0200, and then you don't start PT until 0600. Right? We've all fucking been there. Right? But we're adaptable. Right? Don't cling to what worked before. Refresh your designs. I recommend using Canva Pro if you can afford it. That's a cost of my business. I pay for Canva Pro. It's $15 a month. To me, it's the best $15 a month I spend. Period. Number 4, mission focus. Know your why. Now, your why can be simple. Okay? Your objective can be simple. Hey, I want to make money. Okay, that's a good why. That's a good start. Every military operation we did had an objective. We may not have understood it in the moment or in the beginning, but it had an objective. We may not have agreed with it at the time, but it had an objective. Your business, which you take responsibility for, which you have ownership of, you now set the mission focus for. So now it should make sense. So let's say your mission focus is, hey, I want to make money. Well, how do I want to do that? Why do I want to do that? What's my drive? Okay? You don't move without knowing the mission. And honestly, that clarity grounds me. When I look at affiliate products on ClickBank, on impact.com, or there's a few other places that I go to for affiliate products, sometimes I look at products and go, no, that doesn't fit my vibe. Sometimes I look at them and go, wow. Black Rifle Coffee Company, they're a veteran organization. I like them. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to start pushing their products. I'm going to put a banner up on my blog for them so people can click on them and get a discount on their products. And yes, it's on one of my blogs. It's on my e-commerce blog right now because I can't put them on Beehive. They won't let me. So our mission, for example, our mission at JK Princeton Gifts isn't just profit. Profit is one of our missions. Yes, I want to make money. But it's building a sustainable business. Building a business that lasts. Okay? It supports and focuses on mental health and lets us create together. Yes, there are tough days. Okay? And orders are slow. We're still figuring out Etsy's algorithm, their SEO. Trying to find the product or two that really hits. Okay? Sometimes that doubt creeps in. I've told my wife all the time, God, maybe I should just close this. And then she goes, shut up. Make another product. You're all right. And I go, all right. Then a couple days later, I start cranking out products. But that why pulls me back in. Every mug, 5-star review, new subscriber. It reminds me that there's one person out there that goes, hey, that looks like a cool product. I'm going to buy that. Somebody out there the other day bought 2 of our, honey, what shirts did they buy? Stronger Than My Scars shirt. They bought 2 of them the other day. They actually were just delivered today. 2 of them. I made like $14 profit off those 2 shirts. Pretty cool. Somebody saw those shirts and was like, hey, I'm going to buy those. Those are pretty cool. Your mission could be financial freedom, family time, or proving you could build something sustainable for you. Lock it in. Write it down. Make it your mission statement on your Etsy store if you start Etsy or Shopify or whatever. Right? Or something different. Maybe you're opening up a beacons.ai and you're selling only digital products. I can show you how to do that if you have questions. Yes, I have another book for you. I have another book recommendation for you. It will be linked in the blog, so you have to read the blog. Okay? Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Your why, and I know I put it at number 4. I should have put it at number 1 now that I think about it. Start with why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to start a business? Right? And if it's making money, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But expand on that. Why do you want to make money? Well, I want to support myself and my family. There you go. There you go. Now you're really getting into why. Number 5, camaraderie. Build your unit. And for my veterans and my military people out there, we all know your unit is your lifeline. I can guarantee you that my veterans out there still have friends from the military that they still talk to, text, or keep up with on social media every single day. I know I do. Without them, I wouldn't be here. They check on me all the time. There have been times when I don't post on social media, Facebook in particular, and they will text my wife. And they will say, where's Jeff? What's he doing? Is he okay? That's pretty fucking cool. Right? And they know who they are. I don't have to mention their names. They know exactly who they are. They will send my wife text messages. Where's Jeff? I haven't seen him on Facebook. Cover each other's backs. Share what you're doing with them. Ask them to share it with others. That camaraderie carries into entrepreneurship. Running an online business like an Etsy store can feel lonely, right? Because I'm sitting at home, right? My wife's on summer break now, but during the school year, she's gone. She's at work. My kids are gone and at school, right? So I'm just home, right? We do print on demand, so there's no inventory for me to keep up with, which is amazing, by the way. But maybe you're not. Maybe you're sitting there packing orders yourself, right? There's that wrestling with self-doubt in your brain. But community changes that. I'm part of a few business groups on Facebook that I can communicate with. There's a couple on Reddit too, but Reddit can be a little weird. Some people on Reddit are dicks. They straight up dicks, okay? There are a lot of Etsy seller forums and customers who share our values. I post a lot on social media, right? I market our products 3, 4, 5 times a week. Some of you might be sick of it. I do not care. I'm going to continue doing that because I want to share what we're making. Okay, and some people comment on that stuff. They'll go, hey, I really like this. This is pretty neat. I share with local small business owners too, here where we live. I look for ideas. I find encouragement. You have to do that. That's part of building a unit, part of the camaraderie of the online business world. Hell, I even went to an online virtual, it was through Zoom or whatever they used, like an Etsy conference thing. Like it was free to go to. And they walked through a couple of products and how they set up the SEO, the description, the title, kind of what they're looking for pictures. And there were some awesome people in there that I had met and talked to just through the chat. I never thought I would do that. I might have been the only dude in there, but it was cool. Same thing with affiliate marketing. We partner with brands that we believe in, like Black Rifle Coffee. Yes, I have a link to that in the blog. Want to save some money? It's a 33% discount for my coffee lovers, mostly my veterans out there who love their coffee and energy drinks. They have energy drinks now. The mango one is delicious. Check them out. The link is in the blog. Okay. Final thoughts. Let's wrap this up here. I've actually been going for about a half hour. That's actually crazy. From combat to creation. Running our Etsy store, JK Prints and Gifts, tests me, but in a good way. PTSD makes some days feel like a battlefield, and it can be rough. Okay? Entrepreneurship has that uncertainty that can feel like I'm being ambushed. Like every order, every subscriber, every message I get, though, reminds me of my why. Like, cool, I made a couple bucks today. Cool, that person had a connection to that product. Right? The military taught me to show up. You guys have to remember, and I've mentioned this before, I joined the Army, I was 17 years old. The Army made me who I am. Good and bad. Made me who I am. Taught me to show up. Taught me to own my failures. It taught me to adapt, pivot, like pivot fast, stay mission focused, and to lean on my team. My wife knows I've leaned on her for 16 years. Probably hates me. She's over here shaking her head no. Those lessons, forged through fire, forged in Iraq, forged in different duty stations, forged through working with different people, right? Carried through years of battling PTSD are the bedrock of what we building my little empire, right? Not there yet, right? Veteran or not, if you're building a small business, you can do it. You've got the grit to make it. You've already started. Okay? Now, if you want to, okay? If you want to, I'm going to ask you guys to do two things. Join our mailing list. I will leave the link in the description. Okay? We'll give you guys updates on what's going on. Post new products. Okay? If you join our mailing list, we'll get a 25% off code for the Etsy store. Okay? That is completely free just for joining the mailing list. We will not spam you or anything like that, and you can unsubscribe at any time. Okay? I do have some FAQs, some frequently asked questions for veteran entrepreneurs and small businesses. There are 3 of them on the blog itself. How can veterans start a small business? What's the hardest part of running an Etsy business? And how do you manage PTSD while running a business? I will let you guys discover those for yourselves on the blog because I want to drive you guys to the blog as well. I'm going to be honest about that. I want to drive you guys to the blog. I put my blog in 2 different places, Substack and Beehive. Both are completely free to subscribe to. Okay, you just have to put your email address in. And then each week, I try to do 1 blog per week. The blogs come out on Mondays. The podcasts come out on Fridays. Okay? So I want you guys to subscribe to both. Okay? And all the links will be in the description. Okay? If you guys have any questions, I want you guys to comment below. Have you started your own small business? Or are you thinking about starting your small business? What is your... Thank you guys for listening. guys, you guys have a great day. Thank you.